This is the LG UltraGear QHD gaming monitor, and after spending a couple of months with it on my desk, I can tell you it impressed me more than I expected. Well, this one actually packs in a lot of features, but also has a few limitations, which I'm going to cover in this video, so make sure you stick around. When you open the box, it's pretty straightforward. You'll find the 27-inch monitor itself, wrapped neatly with protective foam on both sides, a sleek V-shaped stand, the cylinder that attaches to it, a power cable, a display port cable, and a quick start guide. That's it. No unnecessary clutter. Nothing confusing, just what you need to get started. I appreciate how clean and simple they kept it, and the monitor itself is very well protected during shipping. But once it's out, does it look as good on your desk as it does in pictures? I have to say yes, it does. The first thing you notice is how sharp and modern it looks. The bezels on the top and sides are incredibly thin, almost giving you that infinity edge feel. Only the bottom bezel is noticeable, but it's still pretty subtle and doesn't distract you. The back has this bold red circular accent that looks like it could be a speaker, but it's just a design detail, and honestly, it's a nice touch. Even the V-shaped stand has this industrial yet elegant vibe to it, and it doesn't take up too much space on the desk. It fits well in a clean setup or even a more crowded workspace. It actually feels more premium than what you pay for it. Looks aside, how sturdy does it really feel? That was one of the first things I wanted to test. When you pick it up, it has just the right amount of weight, not too heavy, but it doesn't feel flimsy either. The materials feel solid. And even though it's mostly hard-coated plastic with some metal parts, nothing about it feels cheap. Assembling the stand is simple, though I'd recommend using a screwdriver instead of just the flimsy hand crank they include. It wobbled a little until I tightened it properly. Once set up, the stand gives you tilt, height, and even pivot adjustments, so you can easily find a comfortable angle. And the adjustment mechanism is so smooth I could literally adjust the height just using my pinky finger. It almost feels like there's some hydraulic system inside helping it glide up and down. And then comes the big question. How sharp and clear is the display? That's where this monitor really shines. It's a 27-inch panel with a native resolution of 2560 by 1440 pixels, also known as quad high definition. And for this size, that's pretty much the sweet spot. A full high-definition resolution at this size looks a bit fuzzy, and going all the way to 4K is often overkill and expensive for gaming, but this one strikes a perfect balance, crisp enough for text and graphics, but still manageable for gaming. The colors are stunning thanks to the in-plane switching panel, which covers 99% of the standard RGB color gamut. As someone who edits videos and plays fast-paced games, I noticed both the vibrant colors and how accurate they felt, which is not something you always get at this price. Brightness was another pleasant surprise. Many gaming monitors at this level feel dim, but this one was brighter than even my high-end laptop screen even during the day. With sunlight coming through my window, everything remained vivid and easy to see. Watching high dynamic range content also felt more immersive because of the HDR10 support though. To be honest, it's not the deepest HDR I've ever seen, but it's still a nice feature to have. Look, no monitor is perfect. For example, if you insist on 144 Hz refresh rate at full quad high definition resolution, you might be disappointed, because at that resolution it caps out closer to 100 Hz. But for me, and I'd say for most people, that trade-off is completely fine, because at full high definition you still get the full 144 Hz. For fast-paced games like Counter-Strike or racing sims, it felt super smooth. I did notice that the red circle on the back looks like a speaker, but it isn't so. If you're expecting built-in audio, you'll need to use separate speakers or headphones. And putting together the stand could have been a little more straightforward, but those are minor complaints in the grand scheme of things. Let's take a closer look at its control. At first glance, I thought the single joystick control at the bottom of the monitor would be a pain to use, but it's surprisingly intuitive. Press it in to bring up the menu, move it left or right to navigate, and everything from brightness to input source to color profiles is just a few clicks away. Speaking of profiles, it comes preloaded with several. One for shooters, one for real-time strategy, one for high dynamic range, and even a standard RGB mode for creative work. You can also create your own custom profiles if you want. When I first turned it on, it was set at about 50% brightness, which already looked good, but after tweaking the settings and picking the HDR profile, it was honestly much better. So after everything, is this LG monitor worth your setup? Let's wrap it up. What stood out most to me after weeks of use was just how balanced it felt: sharp visuals, accurate colors, good brightness, and a smooth gaming experience, all without breaking the bank. And the build quality and adjustability made it easy to live with day to day. So if you're like me, someone who wants a reliable monitor for both work and play, who doesn't want to spend a fortune but still wants something that looks great and performs well, this could very well be the sweet spot. If you want to check it out or see more detailed specs, I'll leave a link below where you can find it on Amazon. Thanks for watching, and if you found this helpful, give it a like and consider subscribing for more reviews like this.